Today, we are in the town of White Springs, small, cozy trail town, right off the Florida Trail. Actually, the Florida Trail goes right through this little town. Now, I figured today we'd probably start off at one side of the town and then just walk the main street to the other side. Shouldn't take too long, about 10 to 15 minutes to walk the entire length of this kind of main road that we're on currently. And I'll just show you the different sites, resupply options, restaurants, etc. There's not too much, but it's a pretty neat little setup. So immediately upon entering the outer skirts of White Springs, you're greeted by the Dollar General, which is a pretty decent resupply. They have fruits, produce, they got your pastas, rices. You do have to do some quality control and inspect the fruits, because some of them I did notice have mold. I got a decent resupply. I got some oranges, bananas, packets of rice, some yogurt. You know, it's not super fully stocked, but I think it's just enough. Right across the street is the actual Florida Trail. So the Florida Trail comes from down there, past the New Bethel Church, and then continues northbound right along this main road, which is, I believe, Spring Street. So we are actually on the Florida Trail right now, walking through the city. As you can see, there's an orange blaze on the telephone pole, and then it just continues along here for a little less than a mile. And as you continue northbound, you'll run into this gas station over here, Sun & Stop, right on 3rd Street, where there's actually a decent resupply. You can get hot food over there, and they don't have too bad coffee either. That actually was a lot better than I anticipated. I ate there the other day. I think I got some hot wings, some vegetables, and some rice, and it was pretty decent. So that's a good alternative option if Fat Bellies, which is coming up here on our right, the main restaurant, is not open. You can go to that Sun & Stop. And speaking of Fat Bellies, it's just up the way, right across the street over here. This is the main restaurant in town. I've yet to hit that place up because it is only open on Thursday. It's closed on Monday and Sundays. So I will check out that place at some point. Right next to Fat Bellies is Coin Laundry. So if you're passing through town and you need to do some laundry, you can pop in right there. And everything is so close in town. Everything's within walking distance. It's all within a mile of each other. This is just like a nice, cozy little town. They have all these like older houses, these porches. Kind of gives it a nice, older, kind of small trail town vibe. Definitely historic Floridian town. And up here is the White Springs Bed and Breakfast. This is the place to stop if you're hiking through town. If you want a zero or just spend the night. Really cool place here. So I was chatting with someone that was helping out at that bed and breakfast. Basically, how it goes is you can call ahead to see if there's any rooms available for the night you're looking to stay there. Or if you're stopping by, you can check in with the host. Her name is Judith. Apparently she's an amazing host. She'll make up the room for you. It's very clean. I think she even does some cooking as well, if you ask. I'm not sure on that. But I think you can take showers there, do laundry, etc. So since it's right on trail, it's actually the most ideal stop you can make when passing through White Springs. And then if you make a slight detour off of Spring Street down Wesson and then onto River, you'll stumble across the Telford Hotel, which is one of the premier historic landmarks in White Springs. I do not believe it's a functioning current hotel, but this is one of the places where visitors passing through would stay. I think this town was originally settled by Native Americans seeking out the White Sulphur Springs, because apparently it's a healing source. So you'll notice that a lot of the names in this town are from Native American descent. So right next to the Telford Hotel is actually where I'm staying, in this guest house here, literally next door. It's an Airbnb, and this property is absolutely magnificent. Main residence right there, and then I'm staying in the guest house over here. But there's a bunch of land all the way back there, and a beautiful, beautiful overlook. Okay, so we're inside the guest house now. Just want to give you a quick peek of what it looks like inside. So you have the main living room area. Over here to the left is the master bedroom. Just nice, little shower. On the other side of the guest house is the kitchen. Nicely redone, hardwood floors. And you got your coffee set up, sink. You got an oven, stove top down there, full fridge. Today, this is the grocery haul from Dollar General Market. Definitely better than I expected. Quality, I'm not entirely sure about, because I did have to really inspect each of these food items to make sure it wasn't bad. Because I noticed for some of the berries, like actually all the berries that they had there was mold growing on them. Some of these potatoes had mold in them, so I had to inspect these. I looked at the best buy date on all these as well to make sure there was, nothing old. But overall, I am pleasantly surprised. And now for a quick tour of the estate. Got a nice little patio sitting area out here. Huge ass driveway. These trees are so cool. And they're freaking massive. I mean, like, look at the trunks. Look at the girth on these trunks. This tree is pretty cool because it's low to the ground. You can actually like sit on that and chill out. Actually, it looks like the river's dried up on this side. But if we go over here, there's actually a walkway from the driveway down to a sitting area by the main river. So I sat out here last night, had some pizza and wine while I was overlooking the river. These trees are just so cool with the Spanish moss hanging from them. And then they have this patio area. Oh yeah. To work out getting back up these steps is probably one of the coolest Airbnb properties I think I've stayed at. Now I'm leaving the Airbnb property I'm staying at to walk and show you the rest of White Springs. So I'm just gonna take a right on Bridge Street, and this will bring us right up to the intersection of Spring Street and the Florida Trail, just right up here on the left. Over here on my right is the American Canoe Adventures. It's a pretty popular tourist area for canoeing and exploring the Suwannee River. I didn't notice this before, but this is a pretty cool navigational post right there. Signs with all the places pointing you in the direction. So we're gonna continue down here. So right here is the White Sulphur Springs, the Fountain of Health. So this is what I was talking about, where the Native Americans, I think, were seeking out this specific spring when they came through this way. I think this is what they were searching for. And I think it's actually closed. So the springs, I think, are right in there. That like house. Well, I don't think it's a house, it's just like a little platform. Don't think you can get in here. Yeah, see, they have it blocked off. It's a pretty popular tourist destination. So White Sulphur Springs was deemed a sacred healing ground by the Native Americans. For them, these waters held special medicinal powers. Mooring tribes set aside their differences, allowing each other to drink and bathe in the mineral water without fear of attack. And you can't get across there. I guess they're working on the bridge, so we do have to kind of go up and over on the road into the Stephen Foster Park. So after reading this board, this is actually a pretty important historical landmark because this was one of the first tourist destinations in Florida because of these springs, which I guess word got out that this spring was healing people. So they built this whole town, this whole community around this, which I'm assuming the Telford Hotel, which I showed you earlier, was probably a pretty popular place to stay. This is the Stephen Foster State Park. And as you can see, this is where the Florida Trail continues right through here. The actual Florida Trail looks like it continues down there to the left. But we're gonna go up here to the right and then reconnect with it on the way back. Because this just kind of does, it looks like from Google Maps, a little loop. I think there's a museum up here. Oh, looks like they're doing some reconstruction there. I think this is the actual museum. Let's see if I can take a look in here real quick. Look at all these pianos. So I read this is a carillon where the bells used to toll, I think every hour or half hour. And I think it is currently undergoing restoration, I believe. I think we can go in. So apparently, this is a pretty big music community. Oh, I thought this was gonna be a window all the way up to the bell. So apparently at one time, Andrew Carnegie owned this grand piano. So I was gonna turn around and head back to the main street, but I happened to see this on the other side of the carillon. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like little cabins. This is pretty neat. And then there's a whole playground down here. Community area, there's a shelter. Looks like some grilling platforms. What in the heck is this thing? Is that a seesaw? I spotted some chickee huts from the road. Look at this. Get all these little like palmetto shelters. Yeah, it looks like they're doing some work here. So there's a river gazebo, canoe launch, and the Florida hiking trail is over here to the right. There's a bat house right there. This is pretty cool. And this just overlooks Suwannee. They got outlets here too? Oh no, or do they? Oh yeah. Oh, it looks like it's closed off. The actual Florida Trail follows this cabin access road northbound. And they even have a little amphitheater right here. I don't know if you can hear it, but the bell's going off. So just exited Stephen Foster State Park. It's right behind me, and we're continuing northbound on Robertson Street now. We'll check out a few more waypoints up here. There's a gas station slash food store, and then the library. This is Munchie's food store, gas station, and I ate here. And again, it was actually pretty decent. Pretty decent food for a gas station. So in that Munchie's food stop or gas station, there's this place called Hunt Pizza. And it was actually pretty good. I got a pie from there. I decided to take a chance and order from there, and actually it turned out to be pretty decent, better than I expected. And the final stop on our tour is the White Springs Library. It was a very small library, not much desk area, desk space to work if you wanted to work remotely. But they did have free Wi-Fi, seemed pretty strong. I connected with my phone. I mean, it seemed like a nice quiet place to set up shop for a little bit, recharge, hang out. They had chairs on the front porch there. It's actually really nice, very quaint. So that does it for our tour of White Springs, folks. Actually, I'm really liking it here so far. It's got that small trail town energy, which I like. It's very clean, very safe, pretty historic place to check out in your travels. I think that does it for this video, but that was pretty cool. That was a fun tour. It was like I was walking back in time.